Previously on the Lost Element. The motley hue descended deeper into the ruin, carefully navigating a collapsed staircase with the help of a rope. At the bottom, they found a ruined statue of Alamor, and beyond it, a study preserved among the decay. At its center lay a glass-bound tomb containing an elven figure. One by one, the party was drawn into the Hollow Flames realm, a spectral elf with eyes of burning motes. There, Asja, Rhukkarrak, and Euan bargained away pieces of their life force in exchange for long-sought truths about Aether and the past, while Din resisted. The Hollow Flame warned that something else stirred in the ruin, and soon a creature of pure death descended upon them. Fleeing through the dark halls, Asja and Rhukkarrak pressed ahead while Euan and Din were nearly consumed by the horror. In a desperate moment, Euan threw Din forward and faced the entity alone, but within him, something awakened. His Elandris gemstone flared with radiant light, stunning the beast long enough for Asja to heal him. Together, battered but alive, the motley hue escaped the ruin and raced back towards the Glimmerwake, carrying both the weight of their bargains and secrets long lost to time. A final bone-splitting screech tears through the air, shaking the ruin behind you. Water thrashes at your legs, each step heavier than the last. But your body refuses to stop. Adrenaline surges. You do not look back. You cannot look back. You just run. Ahead, the Glimmerwake glides over the shifting sands, its crystalline hull casting faint ripples as it bears down towards you. Crew voices cry out in the distance, but their words are drowned by the hammering of your own heartbeat and the echo of that abomination still clawing at your mind. Terror lings like ice in your veins, though no shape emerges from the ruined shadow. At last, the ship grinds to a halt in the shallow waters. Strong hands pull you upwards, hoisting you aboard as the warm hug of emberglass courses beneath your feet. Rain begins to patter against the deck, mingling with the sounds of your ragged breaths. Around you, crew members rush with frantic urgency. Shantae braces one of the arcane ballista, its glowing sights fixed on the broken tower, waiting for any sort of nightmare to follow. Through the chaos, Argon forces his way forward, one scarred hand gripping the railing as his single golden eye fixes on you, as his voice cuts across the storm with raw concern. "Are you all right?"
Yes, I think we need to go.
You heard them. Get us going. Get us out of here. As fast as possible. Beryl, full wind. Beryl gives a nod as the crew, stunned for just a brief moment before heeding Argon's calls, quickly scampers around, getting the Glimmerwake into full motion here, as you all quickly drift up out of the sands there and start to watch the tower fade soon as into the distance.
After we're all on the ship and it begins to move, Euan is going to just find somewhere to put his back against and collapse heavily, panting kind of leaning over and holding his hip, which is in pain from all of the running and the beating he just took from the beastie.
As you all kind of settle down for just a moment, Argon, after shouting some orders, comes back over to you all. You all look, well, hammered. What was down there?
Death. It was death.
Creature
Figured it
lives
was much.
within the death energy.
I'm pretty sure it was death energy.
I'm glad you all are safe. Have Jante give you a look over, and he kind of stomps off with other responsibilities at the forefront of his mind. Continuing to bark orders at the crew as the ship starts to pick up some quite considerable speed.
Are the rest of you all right?
He calls back once more. As far as we can tell, a little spooked. Eventually, Shantae kind of still aiming the sights, but as you get further and further away, you can see a visible tension kind of relieved from her as she closes the contraption there and starts to make her way towards you. What were you going to say, Asja?
Asja moves over and kind of sits on the deck next to you and... Okay. Just, I don't like running. If we could stop with the running. I think I left my lungs back there in the lake, though. At least that's what it feels like. Oh, I'm out of shape.
I didn't see much. What happened?
We got cornered.
Got a better look than I did.
We fell behind as the two of you were running. The creature caught up with us. Whatever the effect was that it had that was drawing us in, we both fell prey to it quite heartily. I didn't think we were going to make it, if I'm very honest. I tried to give Asja and Den their best chance of escaping, and then something happened and I don't remember much of it. But here we are.
I could fill in a little bit. Something was happening. You threw din. We really do have to talk about your addiction to throwing din. I mean, this isn't the first time. I think this is like the third or fourth time you threw him in the pool. You threw him before. Yeah, about 4 or 5 times now. We have to talk about your...
so throwable.
We'll work on it, Din, unless you enjoy it. But to fill in...
I'll try the response strength.
Excellent. I came downstairs. Din got upstairs. At that point, I was able to break the fear that was originally on me. And I was able to get back down the stairs. By the time I got back down the stairs, well, at least your front half was glowing brighter than it's like Alamore was right next to you going, wow! And I got in and I touched you and gave you a little boop to your healing, and then we both tried to do the stairs. It was definitely leg day. Because we went up the stairs and down the stairs and up the stairs and down the stairs as it decided that it was going to control our minds. And then we finally got out.
As you all are kind of discussing, as Asja recaps what horror you all experienced there, Asja, as you're looking over Euan here, you can tell there's differences. His horns have maybe grown another inch or two in certain spots. Some even little budding bits and pieces of extra horns start poking out of the main horns. A little more moss and lichen than there was prior to entering here. And he might have grown a little bit in like height. Hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
He's branching out, yes. Shante arrives at you all here. Alright, I can see that you all are, well, not doing the best. I have a little bit, and she pulls out a medicinal kit and starts to pull out some bandages and some other implements of medicines that, Asja, you're very, very familiar with. These look rudimentary, but definitely effective. And she starts to go over and check each of you out for bigger wounds and whatnot that you've suffered. And she...
I always wanted to use this line in a D&D game. When she asks Asja, she's just going to kind of lift her dress and show this little tiny scrape underneath. Just a tiny scratch, it's fine. I'm missing 1 hit point. I don't need healing, is what she's getting at.
Well, I'm glad you didn't take the brunt of it. Looking towards more Din and Euan, who are visibly wounded. She starts to help patch them up. I'll say the 3 of you, other than Asja, since just is but a scratch, can roll one of your hit dice as she helps patch you up there. Unless Rhukkarrak, if you are opposed to her help, it would be
Nope.
touching.
He's not quite as... Oh, she will be touching.
Yeah, there's scrapes and bruises and slashes that you incurred from the different skeletal creatures that she's binding with, like gauze and wraps and whatnot. And it is definitely a more physical interaction there. She's not healing you from a distance.
Yeah. He'll just kind of, like, as she starts coming near, he'll, like, think about it and just kind of flinch back and be like, I can wrap my own bandages.
Very well. Don't mean to interpose. You might want to, though, when she throws you a bit of the gauze there. Go ahead and just roll a medicine check for me to see how well you can wrap your own bandages. 9.
9.
Alright, so go ahead and roll your hit die, but you're going to get half the benefits from it.
Okay.
So, plus your con mod was just 1, right? So, 8 down to 4, so you heal 4 hit points from that.
Actually, my Constitution modifier is currently +0 because of -2.
So, 3 or 3.5 rounded up 4. That's right. Yeah, your constitution's reduced a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Because we're a friend there.
But as Ashante is here binding some of the wounds here, and you can see a visible look of worry, albeit not like grievous. She still doesn't really know you all that well. But she looks committed to helping you here for sure. She kind of pipes up in this moment. So, you all just found death down there? What does that even mean?
We found a very old place from a time of history that I guess a lot of people think are just legends. And it's death.
I mean, we also found, like, a map and some other information, but,
You found a
yes,
map?
there was...
Yeah, I did.
A current one, or...
No.
Right.
It's an
I
ancient
don't
map.
recognize any of the names on it except for one, and that's only because... No, there's no names on this one. Sorry. No, I was going to talk to Din because he's very good with cartography and maps. I was going to see if he could somehow, I don't know, preserve it or something so that we could at least make a copy onto a modern piece of paper. Because what's in the scroll case is... I think
we
even
bought
if
some
a very
parchment.
small, tiny little creature sneezed on it, would probably go poof.
Probably would be a good idea to have a copy of it.
I have lots of
Have you-
parchment and ink and everything, so I have everything covered if you don't have enough. I have lots.
Oh, we got some at Baltari before we left, remember? I was gonna ask Carissa, do you know anything about the Hollow Flame? Have you heard that nickname before?
All right, now I gotta roll a history check for Shanta here.
She knows all.
And then that one
She's a
comes
construct.
back.
She is the construct of the game master and knows all.
Hollow Flame. Yes, I have heard that name before. Not in a while, though. It's kind of a ghost story. From what I understood, some scholar or whatnot who dealt too much in death and was either killed or removed.
Well, you cannot kill that who is dead.
Isn't the fact of them being dead mean they were killed? Why do you bring that up?
We found him down there.
She kind of like shivers from the rain and just a spook chill down her spine. I don't like that.
I'm just going to say that maybe we could keep this information just between the group of us, because, well, the four of us have been down there. We know what it is. Do you want a bunch of yahoos hearing about this? Running down there to prove themselves?
We don't need to
How many
feed
people
that
would die?
thing.
Exactly. How many people would die trying to prove that they're brave heroes by going down there?
Yeah, I mean, yep, I'll keep it quiet on my end. I don't intend to go be telling people of pit trap they could go die in. See how
Yes,
wounded
there's
you
also-
all are.
Yes, it's because the area is suffused with death. It also drains your life force, and there's also a other creature down there that is pure death.
Right. I don't know if that drainage, what you're seeing, is even affecting us up here, but some of the crew have been coughing and whatnot too. We need to get out of this place as soon as possible. I'm sure Veril would love to look at that map as well. He has quite a bit of insight on, well, the area here, being the navigator that he is. Tightens up one less kind of brace on Euan's leg or something. Alright, that should hold you off for now, but I'd recommend you all look worn, both, well, physically and mentally. Get some rest. I'll leave it to you. She stands up and looks back over to you before eyeing some other onlookers who are just kind of staring and maybe overhearing some stuff before she starts barking orders at them, like, "Come on, get back to work!" And she starts heading off.
Asja is going to pull out the scroll case and hand it to Din. Work your magic, and we get knowledge about lands that haven't been seen for thousands of years, maybe?
Yes, I have the tools. I'll get to making a copy of it.
Well, I am not particularly skilled with maps, nor in copying them, so I think I'm going to turn in early. Just get to me if you need me.
Yes, Rhukkarrak.
Yeah, yes?
Perhaps you shouldn't be so forthcoming with the things we find out. Just a thought.
You were asked. You brought up the Hollow Flame. I was merely explaining why you did. But
You could have said we found a book about him with a reference or something.
Yes, I was gonna say that the place made me think of him, but... You know.
I am not one for advocating lying, but at the same time, you saw how many people left Valtari early, before the storms were even done, to run after the Aether, which they know nothing about? What do you think they would do if they heard about this? You'd get a group of idiots that would come here thinking that they were strong enough to prove themselves. And all it would do would feed him. For a long time.
we merely identified the location of their... I think the term is boogeyman? And said that it was worse than death down there.
Okay, look at us. We were told, hey, you could go option 1, option 2, option 3. But then there's this really dangerous option in this area that we were told never really to go because there's a lot of spooky things. What option did we choose?
We also... And he's going to lower his voice and lean in. I did not mention any of the benefit to going down there. And that was intentional.
What benefit?
The fact that he will grant answers for life. Or lies, or he'll offer answers at least. And he is saying this really, really quiet. He wants to make sure that no one hears that.
After
I don't know what you
Shantae
got out
barks
to him,
orders.
but it definitely wasn't a benefit for me. Let's put it that way.
Well, I don't think it was a benefit either, but it may be seen that way. That's why I did not mention it. But anyway, I'm tired. I'm going to go get some sleep. And I'll walk off.
Okay. And just a reminder too that it's still pretty early in the day. You all slept before entering the Spirit Dunes. There was a couple hours of travel in the Spirit Dunes before you arrived at that tower. And you were down there for about an hour or so. So it's about midday.
We're really getting our booties handed to us, doing the faster than Usain Bolt through the temple, through a lake, back to the boat. I think we're allowed a nap if we want to have a nap.
Yes.
Just saying.
You can definitely...
Also, life drained, all that kind of stuff might make you a little sleepy.
Yes.
Yeah, he is not intending
Snackish.
to get a whole long rest. He's merely going to go take a nap.
Yep. Okay. As Rhukkarrak heads down to the below deck there to your guys' quarters, what are the rest of you doing? You can see there still is individuals who are doing their tasks. Some scrubbing the deck, some like tightening the rope as Varel kind of motions in different ways for the sails to guide you further on. But there are people who you just get a glance as they are looking over at you with curiosity and a little bit of wonder, and a little bit of fear still in some of the crew's eyes here.
I think Euan's breathing is starting to even out now. At one point, he was actually trained for stuff like this, but that's been a while. However, he is holding the lantern with his Elandris in his hands, looking down at it, the shattered glass that was blown out by whatever this was that happened, and just kind of staring at it, I guess.
It is still glowing brighter than you think it was before. It initially was very, very bright, and that was part of the use of the lantern to conceal it to a degree. But it is still like holding a stone that had light cast on it in your hand there. kid, Asja?
Oh yeah,
Do anything?
Dean is
Sorry, I was dealing with an issue behind the scenes. Sorry.
Yeah, Dean wants to, like, before going below deck and start working on the copy of the map. Dean would like to just like go to the back of the ship, and he'll just like stare at the Maldorwen birds as they leave this place, just because he wants to see them
Okay.
before they go.
You can still see right as you're almost at the point where you're out of sight, like another 2-3 minutes, and the tower will be fading into the horizon. But you can still see the flock there and slowly circling the tower there. They do not rejoin the Glimmerwick as it left. You can just make a note of them there and look back towards them. It's been a while since you've seen them in the wild. You just take a moment to appreciate them as they slowly fade into the distance.
Yeah, so he'll maybe, drop on a knee and just do a silent prayer as they leave and like they fade out of view, and then he'll go below deck, work on the map.
Yeah.
Asja is gonna get up off the deck and kind of stretch a little bit. And I was distracted. I do apologize, but turn to Euan, who I'm assuming is still there.
Yep.
Yep.
Euan, we need to talk.
Always, little one. What's on your mind?
Well, I think you should sit down. It's going to be one of those conversations.
He'll kind of sink a little deeper into the little nook that he's found for himself to kind of collapse in. All right, I'm listening.
I know a little bit about from when you were at Cinder Tree and what you've told us and me. And that one of the last things you remember doing is vowing to protect the tree, right?
Aye. And it was through that vow that the Quran gave me the power to protect it. Or at least try.
Okay, Dad. Euan, right. How old are you? I really want you to think about this. How old are you?
His eyes will squint as he's trying to math it out in his head.
Simple answer. Much older than any other Drakthir should be. And you look much more spry than a Drakthir who would be your age. Correct?
That is correct.
You might want to reach up and feel your branches. Antler horns. Branches. You're kind of sprouting more than you had before.
He'll reach up and feel the extra pokey bits that are kind of sprouting and the extra nubs on his horns. I think up this close you'd see that there are a few places on his body that the bark that normally sprouts forth when he rages never really quite went fully away.
It's almost as if like the wounds, like a scab formed over, but that scab is made out of bark, and it looks like it's incorporated now into the scales.
She's gonna sit down next to him and kind of take his hand in hers and pat it a little. I'm pretty sure that if I put an Elandris on anybody else in this ship, it wouldn't glow. I'm pretty sure. Dad, you've got to stop sacrificing yourself. Because then you're going against your duty to protect the tree. I have my suspicions. Sometimes you space out and you use words like we, and you don't really talk very clearly, like you do. And now you're growing branches and stuff like that, and you reacted more to Jorge than anybody else. You have knowledge, and then there's the fact that you look like Alamar downstairs. Don't mean to be the one of, okay, apparently I'm doing this to everybody in the party at some point, but I don't think the Quran tree just gave you power. I think somehow you're holding the Quran tree. So if you're going to protect the tree, you need to stop trying to die. None of us want that. And I'm sorry, but if you can't stop doing that, then I can't call you Dad anymore because I can't lose another person. Can't care for another person that deeply. Just to lose them to sacrificing themselves. It's our job now to take care of you. I've been thinking about things. The question I asked before, how can both you and Rukka be paragons? I think Rukka is the paragon. I think you're something more. I think you're the key that we have to work with. So if you could stop trying to be you and let us take care of you. I know it's new, but I think that's part of our jobs. First, I thought you were sent to take care of me. I was wrong. I'm here to take care of you and make sure you're safe and protected. And she kind of taps at the Elandris and then taps at a bit of the bark bits. Whatever secrets are within you. So can you stop trying?
Euan's facial expression. Sorry, go ahead.
I am done.
Euan's facial expression will soften a bit as you begin to talk. And he'll reach up and kind of wipe one of the stray tears that falls out of your eyes. He'll kind of purse his lips a little bit and then look back down at his Elandris. So really, the tree's Elandris. But all of my life, my one duty was to protect the Quran at all costs. Even at the cost of my own life, my comrades' lives. The Quran always watched over us. It was our protection during Stormwake. It was our shade during the heat. It always watched over us, protected us. To us, it was our everything. It was our life, our death, our shade. Even our God in some ways. I suppose when you combine two entities whose sole purpose is the protection of things that are important, either to himself, to the world, it's much harder to get away from. But I do want to clarify something. I did not want to die in there. I did not try to die. I was dying. I didn't see a way out. And if that meant that I could sacrifice myself for all of you to have a way out, that is a sacrifice that I, Euan, was willing to make.
Haven't you learned yet that I will always come back for you at the right time?
She smiles.
He'll chuckle a little bit, but it doesn't reach his eyes. His eyes are like he is trying to focus on something, like he's trying to make sense of words that you said to him. Very much like a does not compute, almost blue screen behind the eyes as he's trying to piece together this idea of perhaps you should be protecting him, and because it goes against every single fiber of his being for others to be the ones protecting him when that has been his directive his entire life. I am old. I have lived far past when I should have died. I have died. Perhaps there is a part of me that still I don't know. I don't seek death, but death seems to find me, and I wonder if that is perhaps a side effect of my condition.
There's a good possibility. Maybe you should try... I don't know. Maybe you can meditate with your inner self. But I don't want to lose you. I think you know why. But also, kind of duty bound now to make sure that I don't lose you.
She stands up and kind of wipes off her hands on her dress and kind of leans in.
Remember, I will always save you. First time you ever met me, I saved you. I should go and contact Juan. Let them know what we found. Well, that the Aether is bad. Well, maybe not bad, but what it could bring could be bad. I don't think we're just going to have to worry about the Aether being released now. If the Aether is released, there's a good chance that more Gregs of the mankind will come down. The last time they did, everything died. Everything. Should probably get them to start looking into information on other things. So I will go and use I can send a one-way message. And go send that one-way message. Oh, by the way, they're called humans. That's what Hollow Flame said.
Humans.
Humans. I like mankind better. Greg of mankind sounded really good. Greg of humans. Oh, no. Human. Human. I don't know. It sounds almost like food. She walks away.
As you turn to walk away, Euan's arm will kind of snap out and he will grab your wrist. Not painfully, forcefully, just almost like he's just reaching out for comfort, almost like someone would like a stuffy if they're turmoiled or something. And as you turn back to look at him, I think you would notice that his eyes just aren't as sharp as normal. He is deep in thought, and this action was almost robotic in a way. And after just a little bit too long of a pause, his eyes will sharpen again as he looks up to you and just says, "I'm sorry, little one. You know that I love you very deeply. I never mean to make you cry."
That's a hard thing to do. But you came close today. I know you love me, and I love you too. And I know that even if you left, I would still have Din and Rhukkarrak, but not quite the same. Anyways,
She leans in and just gives him a huge hug.
also, I'm really going to need you around when I message my dad the next time and tell him I have to make an appointment to meet him. I think I need an expert now.
Do I need
She
to hurt
leans
him?
back out.
I don't think so. He sounds pretty insane and fragile, to be very honest. Oh God, I hope he's not. He said he was dead too. Oh God, please don't let it be Hollow Flame Take Two. Please don't let it. Then she just starts walking away, praying to Alamor, please don't let it be Take Two. Please don't let it be Take Two. That's all it is.
And Euan will just kind of sit back in his little nook, kind of nested between barrels and rigging and canvases for sails, and go back to just staring at his Elandris, deep in thought, now with new things to think about, as he is pondering the events of what has just happened.
Yep.
Asja has got to learn the honey part of the Honey and Hammer. She really does.
We'll shift over to Din as you head down towards the mess. Is where I'm assuming you're going with the map, or where are you headed with the map? Try to piece it together, or copy it.
I could be the mess. Yeah.
Like the probably this main spot, unless you want to go to your quarters that has a little more privacy, other than Rhukkarrak in there. But that has like an actual table that isn't in the rain that you could actually work on it. Well, yeah. Head on over to the mess there as you arrive. And you hear a bit of clambering in the back room there, the kitchen. As Truck is working on something. A little quiet, though. He, too, is maybe a bit spooked by the current area that you all are in. But you have the space mainly to yourself here. You can pull out the scroll case here. And slowly...
I feel like...
Go ahead.
After what happened, probably Din would approach Truck first before sitting down.
Okay. You go over and look through the little window there into the kitchen. As Truck is just softly humming a more reverent tune underneath his breath before he stops and looks back towards you.
Oh, little one. What can I get you for? A little snack?
Something warm, maybe?
Yes. It's kind of... just something about this place gives you the heebie-jeebies, if you know what I mean. Kind of like what you did to me the other day.
And it's like points at you like with a sinister look. Starts to then get a little bit of water boiling.
I'm really sorry. Didn't mean to get on your nerves, and definitely wasn't expecting this place to be like this. So...
You're all good. I enjoy the practical break here and there. I wasn't expecting it. It really threw me a curveball.
Well, I can make it up for you. Maybe play a tune while you cook. I was gonna get some work done, but I actually don't feel that well.
Is that so? I'm sorry you don't feel good, but yeah, I would love to hear your music. Don't have a bard on deck, and my singing doesn't always please everyone's ears, even though I enjoy it.
Okay, I will play then.
And so Din will grab a stool, I guess, and sit near where the kitchen is and start playing.
Okay. As Truck continues to prepare a small little some tea or some sort of warm beverage there, working to partake in the music starts to sound throughout the interior here, the light fall of rain on top of the deck echoing with the music as well. You just both sit there and listen to the tune. Go ahead and play or roll a performance check for me.
I don't play, I wish.
Yeah, play your song.
Okay.
You're still you've been through a lot in the last few hours here today, and so you're just still a little shaken up, and as you strum some of the lyre notes from this makeshift instrument, you're still getting used to it, and it does sound good. And Truck kind of doesn't start dancing, but just kind of bobs and sways a little bit with the music there as he continues to cook, eventually after a minute or so sliding over a warm bit of beverage and just leaning back on the counter there and just taking deep inhale, closing his eyes for a moment and exhaling as you finish a little bit of a string music rings out.
Thank you, that was beautiful. I don't think I've ever heard this instrument that you have there.
Yeah, something that my friend Euan and I put together.
That's
I'm
very
still
nice.
trying to find the right pitch for every note, but I'm glad you enjoy it.
Have to play more for the crew too. I know they would get a kick, especially as well in this area. We should be out of it soon though, hopefully.
Well, you also keep the spirits high yourself, Truck. I feel like you serving this food here in the middle of the desert, is really what keeps all of us going. So, yeah,
I
thank you.
appreciate that. And I've kind of made it a personal mission of mine to make sure the crew's spirits are lifted. So, you have to have a good chef on board, I feel.
Yes. Well, I guess I'm gonna sit down and get to work.
I will.
But
I got the rest of
thanks
lunch to prepare here.
for the grub.
so good luck.
Turns back and continues to work on something. Continuing to hum something under his breath. As the quiet interior here just, again, is kind of speckled by the rainfall above. You pull out the scroll case and very, very carefully start to remove the map that's instilled within. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me to see if you can handle this thing carefully enough without ruining it.
Okay.
It is incredibly brittle. Like picking up a leaf in the fall after it's been dead for like a long time. You slowly start to bring it out, and part of it starts to chip a little bit where you're grasping, and you quickly just kind of slide it out. It doesn't ruin it, but now you have to unfurl it as well. You slowly start to do it, and it does start to crack in some areas, as some part of it does get ruined slightly. But you're able to unfold it enough that you are able to glean the contents of it without further manipulation of the actual paper here. You just pull your hands back and just carefully examine it. I think around this time, after the tune and everything that you did, Din, as you're finished pulling that up, Asja, if you were on your way down, or where were you headed after speaking with Euan?
I was headed to the room we were shown where we could at least
go speak
one
to Tom.
way
Yeah,
to
that's right.
Yuan. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can do so. So, as you kind of peer through the little window there and do see Din slowly looking over the map, make your way down the corridor of the hull here and enter the small little space where you see this slowly pulsing rune of sorts attached to this gemstone of a device that just slowly kind of pulses.
She's just gonna kind of look at Rupert. You know, they really need to get the longer form one of these. Okay, I only have a certain amount of, what do I say? Alright. I guess. Here we go! And she is going to activate the one-way sending stone, I guess.
Okay, so as you activate it, go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me to see if you know what you're doing
I was
here.
about to say. She'll take a look at things and kind of see what's going on here. Never mind a 9.
9's not terrible. It definitely is something you've never used before. Whenever you've cast this sort of magic in the past, you've always done so from a spell scroll. So this is something new. You kind of slowly reach out and press a finger towards the gemstone as it starts to alight with some energy. Before you feel around you some winds start to pick up quite rapidly, and you feel like now is the time.
Okay. Sorry, this is me. Found Virulent Fae. The last bastion. Oh, Virulent Fae, the last bastion. Sorry, I'm trying to do the finger thing right now, too. Have information. Aether itself, not bad.
what it can bring will kill us all. Look for mankind references.
With that, the wind picks up even quicker around you as your hair kind of tousled by it, as you hear just whispers on the wind there. Mankind, Aether, Last Bastion, as it quickly races out up through the corridor there and off into the winds. Hopefully arriving at its target. But you sit there for another minute or so and you do not hear anything back.
Yeah, well, she wouldn't have stuck around. She knew it was a one-way thing already. So
Okay.
I guess she will head back out to the dining room, I guess, to sit with Din and not disrupt. Like, don't be a nuisance and stuff like that, but just sit down and like pull out one of her own notebooks and write down what she found.
So when you
she
approach,
was told. Yeah.
I feel like Dean would get startled because, like, when Dean's sitting there, he's kind of like absent-mindedly trying to cast silent image, and like Dean, all Dean can think about right now is like her, and when you like, you know, just like walk very silently, I think it would just like startle him. Oh, Asja, you're back.
Sorry, I did not realize you were so deep in concentration.
This paper is so frail. I'm lucky that it didn't break all the way when I pulled it off, but you wouldn't mind helping me with this, would you?
Sure. And she puts her notebook away. What do you want help with? I'm not very good at this, but let's go.
It's just that I'm tired right now, you know. We just went through a lot and my mind is kind of like scattered. So I feel like having you here helping me focus would be great. And
What?
yes, the thing that I was trying to remember was where we were when we found Virulent. We were with Cordran and we were going along the dunes, traveling from Elendor to Altari.
Right.
And it was... What?
I made a mistake talking to Juan. Sorry. I mixed up the names. I apologize. My own thing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, it's just that... Can you help me remember where that was? Maybe there's a clue about it here. That's the place that it's on the map, right? I just want to maybe cross-reference and...
Okay, well, she'll pull out I guess... Somehow, one of them will produce the modern map that they now have. And she'll unroll it and kind of follow up from Elendor to Valtari. Okay, I'd say maybe we got off the boat around here. And we walked towards Valtari. And maybe it was about halfway, so maybe... here-ish? And she kind of points around where the S is. So do you see the shifting sand sea? So the big capital S of sand.
Right there.
She's kind of maybe there, maybe in that area, maybe? I don't know.
Let's have the two of you
I
roll
think we were
survival
about
checks for
halfway
me.
between, yeah.
okay, survival.
15.
Ooh, 26.
Somebody's a good survivalist. Somebody would get eaten by a wyvern. That would be me.
So as Asja starts to pull out this other map and starts to reference right there where the S was in the shifting sand sea, then you kind of look at it and reference the other map and look back at it and kind of think back to the trek that you all took in the sand sea there. And you remember that you had to actually go a little further north to
Walk a lot.
bypass
past-
some of the
Yes.
shifting sands
The
that were
quicksand.
super
Yeah.
soft. So you think
Like, I also remember that it was near the Ember Peak ritual. So, like, that night, we stared at the stars, like, the entire night, you know, when Cordron was doing the ritual. So I feel like Dean would know the position of the stars that night, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you, after looking at it and thinking all that about the stars, about that night, about taking that detour up northern direction, you believe that it will be somewhere in this area here. Like in that kind of circle. Let me see if I can't draw a circle on the map.
That was
here.
pretty close across the river. I mean, that was pretty close.
Ooh. It's like sticking to the... But yeah, somewhere probably maybe one over, like in that general direction. In that like circle that's on the map right there. Is where you believe it to be. And again, you might be off by a little bit, but you're pretty sure somewhere around there. You know that this map is not quite accurate. The river did not go all the way through there, as by the time you got towards Valtari, a lot of this river had dried up already. Because it's far enough into Embervale.
Yep. Dean also like just wanted to use this map in order to like have a reference like for the copy as well, using this map and the other one. Yep. You know what I mean? Just like try to have everything on site and like be aware where everything is, so he can just like try and make the copy as accurate as he can.
Yeah, let me pull open a little circle. We're gonna hide that. This is the map that you have pulled out, the one that you found, or Asja found, down in the ruins there. It's a little smaller than the other map, and it's more of a square as you've fully rolled it out than the other one. But the landscape and the topography is quite vastly different. Asja, you recognize this is the place you recognize as Verelanthe.
Yes.
The text here, you cannot read that. You don't know what that says, but in other references to Verelanthe, you've seen this same text. And so you can kind of cipher that, or decipher that this more or less probably says Verelanthe.
Okay, so if looking at both maps, if this is Verelanthe and this is where we think Verelanthe was, then she points at the next one in the mountains. Would that be Valtari? Or would the next one? But they're... And where did all the mountains go?
Well, Valtari is sitting on top of a quite large, well, what I assume was a mountain, perhaps?
It is, but...
Maybe they're buried underneath the sands.
You don't think well, there also seems to be more trees. One would think that when the age of decay hit, all life, including trees and everything, so maybe the mountains just eroded with nothing to hold them. Or maybe something bigger that we don't know. What is this one to the north? There's more with... Okay, she's going to... Hold on. I'm pretty sure I have one in my inventory.
Can I talk to you for a second, Asja?
Certainly. She's reaching in her bag, and she is pulling out a magnifying glass.
Okay.
Keep going! And she's trying to look at the names, because she's now noticed that a lot of these have little scribbles next to them.
They do.
Keep talking. What's up?
Well, I don't know if I have talked to you about characters a lot, but there we really honor our dead. And there's stories that are told about them. There's stories that are told about characters. There's stories that are told about the Sunspire Dominion and, you know, the history of our people, of our peoples. And I've been very dedicated to that throughout my entire life. Yes, of course, there was no place like the library you probably grew up at, but I want you to know that in Kertas we do care about the past, and not just our past. I've been studying this for a long time. Maybe I don't know everything about your people, maybe I don't know all the details about your stories, but you are prominent in ours. And as someone who's been doing this for a long time, I just want to tell you that the more you stare into the past, the more difficult it is to look forward. And you're so young, Asja. Do you remember when you met me?
I do.
I was maybe nothing like this. I wouldn't have been able to tell you these things because I thought that what I was doing was okay. It was the right thing to go about things, care so much about the past that, yeah, sometime in the future you'll be the thing that others care about because you're gone. But it is not that like that at all. The only thing that matters is right now.
And I understand that. And I know that I'm young. I know everybody here sees me as really young. I'm much younger than I should be in the position that I'm in.
I'm not looking down on you. I just want you to know
No,
that.
I'm trying to explain to you that I know it seems that I'm obsessed with the past. But I'm not obsessed with the past. I'm obsessed in trying to find a way to complete what I'm supposed to do, which is find some way to protect every creature that's living, no matter who they are or what they are. Kind of been what I was tasked to do. I'll tell you a secret. I've never allowed myself to think that I would ever grow to be an old age. That's not going to happen with me. And I know that. But understand that I do appreciate the present. I appreciate your pranks. I appreciate even when Rhukkarrak frustrates me. I really appreciate Truck's little cake balls. Those were really, really good.
As cake balls
That's why
slide over the table.
Thank you.
Right on time.
I appreciate every day that I'm given. I appreciate all the small things, like good snacks, or a smile, or seeing a little Vizork with wings that are very pretty and they flutter by as they go from flowers to flowers. I live a lot in the present because I know that I have to be obsessed with the past to protect the future. But any information you have, I'd really appreciate it because I keep running into dead ends and then I have to make deals with things that I probably shouldn't be making deals with, but the information that
Well,
he gave me was very good. We're all in danger, possibly.
my 2 cents, if you want to take them, my 2 pieces of copper, if you want to take them, is that perhaps it doesn't matter if you don't have all the answers. Because it is you who are telling the story now, Asja. Whatever answers you need, that's fine. I also need answers myself. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's worth any deals that you have to make when you have to put your own future on the line. Because our future depends on you as well, just like you said. So,
You have
just
your
that.
future. But I have already cheated Lunar once. I think that was a special case. Same as kind of what connects Euan and I. We both shouldn't be here. But for some reason we are. But I don't think our fates are meant to last much longer than after what's going on here. I'd like to think it is. I'd like to think maybe one day, I don't know, settle down, have a few partners, have babies. I don't know. Never thought of that stuff before. It's actually one of the reasons I ran away from home. Is one of my best friends was starting to pursue it. We had, you don't need to know that part, but he wanted to get married and I didn't, and I left thinking that maybe he will find somebody else that will make him much happier than me. So there we go.
Well, someone as beautiful as you, I also would try and tighten up very fast if I was him. Or them, I don't know.
Marriage and my people is not something, well, you saw what happened.
Well, I know
with my
about the
mom and my dad.
Elandris. It's not.
Yeah.
You're not the first gemborn elf I meet.
Yeah. Marriage is not something that I think I will ever do. Well, I don't know. That's a question, though.
What?
Well, I don't know. If, say, someone like, just an example, if someone like Grunk and I were to get married, he's not an Elandrin elf. It wouldn't be the same, would it?
I feel like Alamor's side would make it work. You know. When I met her, well, I'm a gnome. She's an elf. I'm kind of on the same boat as you, but if there's something that I have no doubt about is that, you know, we can make it work. But anyway, we should probably work on these. I just
We should, but
wanted
also,
to know that.
you know a lot about the stars, right? Out of all of
yes.
these, out of all the planets,
Mm-hmm.
well, he told me, part of my answer for my thing, the humans, they came with the conduits, and the conduits were powered by the Aether. Where do you think they came from? Do you think Greg had a wife and maybe children? Do you think maybe they've not forgotten as well, and they're just waiting for one of us to turn the conduit back on, and suddenly, out comes the human hoarding army? I don't know. I have a lot of questions.
Looking at Greg's bones, yeah, I pretty much just saw another elf, I guess, but now that you talk about it that way, it makes me wonder how they work.
Right? What do they look like with skin? Is more what I mean. I know what we looked like without
Maybe
their
they
skin.
don't have skin. What about if they have like feathers or something, you know?
Oh. Yeah, okay, let's get back to the map. That's a weird thought to think. Somebody with feathers. Okay, now I'm picturing the... No, let's get back to the map. The four-eye thing. That's just not going to work. Tentacles! No, oh boy. She's gonna go back to magnifying glass and looking at these city places and trying to somehow decipher the little squiggles that are next to each place and write down city.
So as you bring out
try and get the gist of
your magnifying glass, you can see some of these, like, there is something there, but a lot of it is too aged to really tell. Some of them are in a little bit better condition, like this.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll an investigation check.
I clearly said girls.
Oh, huh?
What's the name of the city?
13.
Oh, the city's called. Yes. It's right there. You can read it now. 13. yet again, you do not know this text. Like, it's not even foreign to you being ancient Elvish. It's like trying to read Russian for the first time. It's like the characters are different than Elven or Common. It's just so different than what anything you're used to.
She's still gonna try and write down the squiggles as much as she can, even if she can't read them.
Do you
she's
think this
going
is,
to write down the squiggles?
Mankind script? Mankind did this map?
I don't know. There were
Never
a lot
saw
of
these
them down there.
characters before. Huh? Yes. I mean,
In the
you
Bastion,
would
there
assume.
were a lot of skeletons of not just elves, but there were a lot of the human. I like mankind better. A lot of the mankind's down there. Maybe it fell off one of them. Maybe they did live here for a while, but then maybe we did live in peace for a while, and then something happened and we didn't live in peace for. All I know is that if the Gregs of the mankind return,
It doesn't seem like we were at peace. Not with
Let's hope.
mankind. It seemed
no,
like we
but
were
maybe
at war.
at some point we were.
I mean, the elves were. The elves did a last stand up against mankind. That's what I gathered from that place. I
No.
guess the elves won.
From what I understood, from what I was told, I guess what happened from. Things started because of the Aether. I guess it maybe who to control the Aether. Or who had the right to I don't know exactly, but maybe they did at one point. I mean, with that many conduits that were built, there had to be peace, right? Why would you have that many conduits? If it was just coming for one thing, it would be one thing come down.
What if they
maybe
were
they-
trying to take over Rhukkarrak?
Well, maybe
Wherever
that's
they
what they
come
were
from,
trying to do. Well,
they
that's
don't
why I
have
was
enough with
wondering,
what
which
they have.
planet do you think they come from? I mean, they obviously come from one of them. Or
Is there
all of
another
them.
planet? I mean, if there are forces that are influencing Rhukkarrak that are of a planetary nature, like Alamor, Lunar, Aquor, what if there's another planet where the ether is the main force? What if that's where mankind is from?
That's also a possibility. I don't know. Honestly, until about 2 hours ago, I had absolutely no idea that mankind even existed. So, who knows?
I think Dean will
Maybe the
start
others
like
will have
doodling a
some
little
thoughts
human,
about this as well.
but he'll drawing with feathers.
Okay. A feathered human.
Yeah, Asja's just gonna go back to kind of copying the map and occasionally leaning over and adding like a third eye or something like that to Din's doodles.
Yeah. From that one, you cannot decipher anything further. This one is far too worn. This one, there's a little bit. Go ahead and roll another investigation check for me.
I also want to investigate, but I want to focus more on like just like the shapes of the places, like the architecture, because like to me something that is interesting on the map is like all the places seem like distinct. You know what I mean? So like they're like, like sometimes on a map when like the same empire is kind of like saying like, oh, these are my cities, like they'll draw them the same way, but that is not like what seems to be going on here. So like maybe something like that. I don't know. Can I roll?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a map check. I think investigation as well.
I have cartographer's tools.
So yeah, use cartographer's
I'm
tools plus
proficient.
intelligence.
Okay, plus intelligence. Okay, so whatever I roll plus 4 with my proficiency.
Yeah.
14?
14, okay. Asja, you don't get anything more from that one. We'll continue with the other ones here in a second.
That's fine.
But as we zoom out here a bit, there are several different of these cities. Like this obviously looks like some sort of large city. These look like either maybe smaller settlements or some sort of point of interest that have different meanings to them for sure. It's hard to make out what their meanings might have been, but they definitely, like this one doesn't quite look like a city. It doesn't have that same shape to it. It looks something a little more maybe religious in nature.
Okay, like a temple. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. And like I could assume maybe like based on just like the size of the like structures on the map, like maybe like Virilante is like the capital. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good assumption. As you kind of
and like
look
I think
over.
I'll
Go ahead.
communicate that to Asja as well. Like what you just said about the temple and that idea that I just had.
Okay.
You're right. That one kind of looks like a little tent. The one that's by Virilante in between the little dome one there. That one almost looks like maybe it's more of a fortress or something for military. It looks like a tent.
Perhaps it's in the mountains, maybe like a tower. Watchtower.
Yes, but then the next one over looks very much like a temple to me.
The one
with the
north of the one
domes?
that I...
Yes.
Yes, that looks like a temple as well to me.
Yes.
As
Interesting.
you
Well,
continue with your magnifying glass, this one's again illegible. You can't even make out the symbols there at all. Move on down here. There's something faded in there, but yet again, very, very illegible.
Yeah.
Probably
There's
I think that I
this
broke.
one.
there's something here.
That is a little bit more. Go ahead and roll another investigation check. Do so with advantage as Din starts to point out these. There you go.
That's an 18 verse, and but we'll stick with the 18. We'll go with the 18.
Hey, there is something about this that, yet again, you can't understand the script, but referencing how Virilante is spelled out, more or less, you can kind of piece together certain symbols that are similar in some cases. And you feel like it has something to do with a gate. You're not quite sure, but a gate kind of registers in your investigation there.
This one down here, something to do with maybe a gate. Maybe a gate.
Do you think that's maybe one of those conduits?
Wouldn't that be one of those? Can we zoom out for a second, GM, please?
Yep.
Just for a moment.
Take the magnifying
Thank you.
glass away.
Yeah, take the magnifying glass away for a second. Isn't that close to the area that is now just a giant crater?
Yes, I feel like that would be
And didn't
around the
Maloric
edge of that
go
area.
in there with a group of people and come out going all pooky, 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 and suddenly he had to unlock the knowledge of the Aether?
That's also where the people from the Dawnwar Sentinels of the Tide chapter were going.
Right, but what if one of these two places, she'll point to the place that looks like it's been rubbed right off the map, and the other place. What if one of these two places is where they went? What if...
They said they found something there. I feel like probably the gate. You're right.
Alright, let's get this map before somebody sneezes on it wrong, because I am pretty sure Truck is going to
Probably,
call
yeah.
lunch or dinner soon, so we should,
Yes.
before everybody gets...
Yeah, sorry, I'll get to work on it.
No, I'm helping. She's...
Yeah, let's stop doodling humans and get to work.
Yeah, exactly. She'll just take the doodle and start doodling herself and hand you the magnifying glass.
So, real quick for me, Dan, go ahead and roll cartography tools plus dexterity to see how well you can transcribe the map over to something a little more stable and secure, some other bit of parchment, at least.
Right. I'm gonna guide myself for this, if
Yeah.
that's okay.
How do you do that?
Probably just like focusing on whatever light we're catching from the window. And yeah, like, even though I cannot see the stars right now, they're present on my mind. So yeah, Alamore and the stars guide me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you said dexterity proficiency?
Yep.
Okay.
Cartography tools.
Okay, 14 plus dexterity is plus 3 and proficiency is plus 3, so plus 6, so 20, 30, 20.
20. Okay. So very quickly, you've been working on it as you've also added doodles here and there across the paper, but to make out a detailed enough map that you feel confident that if this one were to be removed or destroyed somehow, that you have something else to reference. It's not perfect, but it holds the important details.
Okay.
All right. Asja, there's something else that I wanted to tell you, if that's okay.
Okay, what?
I think I'm going to head back when we reach Florignis.
Back where?
To
Not
Valtari.
back to the last. Oh, okay. I thought you went back to the last bastion. I was about to say, come
No.
on.
No, I'm planning to go to Valtari, maybe meet with my sister and try and see what we can find out about our brother and hopefully get this information to Juan. Maybe study it at the Spire of Illumination with more of the other ancient maps they may have. And yes, just if there's
My
anything that you
suggestion
will
with dealing
need.
with Euan,
Yes.
go to the Spire of Illumination first and look at the maps. Then, if you feel that Euan needs to have a copy of the map, but you maybe feel that there are places that not everybody needs to know about, you know that people's copies of maps could be, I don't know, missing 1 or 2 places, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wait, that's a good idea. I'll keep that in mind, yes.
We don't. It's nice that they have funded this ship and everything, but we still don't exactly know their ulterior reasons for wanting to look into all of this.
I feel like Jan is someone we could trust for now, and we
For
can
now.
trust him in the future. But yes, if there's anything you want me to take back to Valtari, or perhaps a letter, I don't know, anything, just let me know as well. And just know that it's not that I want to leave you, abandon you, but I don't think the North is a place for now, at least not for me, for now.
I understand. It will be missed, but I understand. And we will keep you up to date on where we're heading back to. I was kind of hoping after we left the north to head back to Elendor, but if we need to go to Valtari to pick you up first, you know,
Yes,
we can
you
do that too.
you write letters just like myself, so just keep in touch with me. I'll send you one when I get back. So just so you know that I made it safe, and probably will talk to Jan and some other people first before writing back, see what I can gather.
Have you told the others yet that you're not going to continue with us?
I talked to Juan, yes. I wanted to make sure he was the first to know. And just like yourself, I want you to know that I'm not leaving you or abandoning you in the middle of this quest. I just feel like there's other places where I can find out more, and well, I also need to find out about my brother. I feel like my brother is also part of the puzzle, you know what I mean? Every time we've talked to someone important, it's like they saw them going somewhere. Close to Mithrandel, close to Varilente. He's been about doing who knows what. I just want to know.
I think it's a good idea for you to go and clear these mysteries up for yourself. Because soon,
Yes.
soon you might have to take on the mantle that you didn't choose.
What do you mean?
Remember when we were talking about the paragons, and I questioned how can we have two Drakthir paragons when the paragons were one of every race? How could we have
Yes.
two of? I don't think Euan is a paragon after what I saw today. I think he's what we're supposed to... I don't know. He's our key? I don't know. We're supposed to work with him? I don't think he's a paragon. But you, on the other hand...
She kind of ruffles his blonde curls.
You, if I am correct, would be the paragon from the gnome people. I'd say that was a pretty decent honor, wouldn't you? Just saying, the stories that'll come out of that one. I'll probably get you a few drinks in the tavern at the end of the day.
Stop it. You know that I'm engaged.
I know.
Just kidding. Well, that's a lot of weight on my shoulders and on yours as well, Asja. Don't let that weight be guiding your decisions. I feel like your gut is right most of the time. You don't need someone else to tell you what's right. You already know it.
I appreciate you saying that.
I wish I was younger. But, yes, I think we should just... I don't know. I think I need to doze off. I'm very tired.
You go do that. I have a big plate of cake balls.
She slides them in front of her.
And I still have to write down everything that he told me today, so... I'll wake you up
very
in a few
lucky.
hours for dinner.
That's for sure. Yeah. See you then.
Well, let's just hope he realizes he's lucky and waits for me. Lucky so, she said.
She just starts shoving cake. Like he said he was going to.
Okay. As Din leaves the mess there, Asja, face full of cake balls and notebook open, writing down the
pencil shoved
secrets
into her hair. And, yeah.
of today. We'll return back up to the top of the ship as Euan is slumped against one of the masts here. In contemplation or thought, words are hard, about everything that has happened. As the rain patters down, and patters in front of you, breaking across that invisible barrier thanks to the stone in your pocket. You continue to traverse at a very quick rate. Every once in a while, once again, you hear winds pick up, the whispers from the reeds that gently sway as the spirit dunes continue. And it is still a sense of eeriness. There's no other immediate danger. You don't see any Maldorwen up ahead, up above. You don't see any wyverns descending from the skies. Or any other mere wraiths in the reflections. You do instinctively just kind of check here and there as your mind continues to process. Go ahead and take us a little bit through Euan's thoughts right now.
More and more, Euan is acutely aware of what is inside of him, understanding that now with almost a conviction that he is the seed that will bring the tree anew. The tree's consciousness is within him. It is keeping him alive until basically he has served his purpose. And his thoughts begin to echo Asja's sentiment earlier of, I don't believe that Euan and I will live much past once we have completed our duty here. And inwardly, he tries to reach out to the consciousness. I think less with words and more with thoughts of inquiry, this general feeling of why that encompasses both why me, why did this happen in the Bastion, and he's trying to connect the dots. Very much the investigator in the room with the red yarn going between all the pictures except its thoughts this time. He's trying to piece together where he fits in with the puzzle, where the Quran tree fits in with the puzzle, and the information that he has learned about how the trees produced some kind of energy that allowed death to return to life, as I believe is how you put it, or how the Hollow Flame put it, rather. This idea of Alamor being asleep and unable to cry her tears. He is staring at his Elandris and mulling over all of these thoughts, and every time he thinks he has acquired a lead or perhaps a connection, something else happens where it doesn't seem like it fits right, so he tries to stop pursuing that thought. Euan is fairly wise. Euan is not the most intelligent person when it comes to trying to put complex pieces together like this. And so he is very lost in thought. He's not really paying very much attention to what's going on around him, as he is just smoking at the ears, trying to piece together things that he knows they don't have all the information for, but he's still trying.
Right. As you sit there and hear the whispers on the wind, you hear the patter of rain, but it drowns out to the inner thoughts as you think about everything Hollowflame said to you. Everything you saw, that image of the reflection in that first corridor still haunts you. Not in a creepy way, but a presence way where you continue to see it in your mind's eye. You and yourself completely tangled with this Quran, with the tree. The two of you inseparable in that reflection. As you hold the Landris there, the warmth pulsing from it, you can know that that is the truth. Maybe not the physical truth, not yet. But even as you look down and see part of the bark that is starting to form on your arms, you know that yet is the key word there. You just continue to think and mull over these thoughts in your head. Why were you chosen? You don't get an immediate answer back, but almost like a blip of a memory that races through your mind, something that you've thought here and there, or even subconsciously just known, as you hear yourself for just a brief moment pleading out in that moment that led to all this. And as your thoughts kind of mingle with an entity's thoughts, not of your own, but of your own, it's strange. Continue to just sit kind of slouched on the deck there, breathing a little raggedly. You're still feeling the lack of vitality that place brought with it. But as you're contemplating Something breaks your train of thought there for a moment, as you notice there's a elf standing next to you, as you kind of shake off your super in-depth thought as you look up and see the navigator, Veril, standing kind of next to you. Not right next to you, but by. As they kind of meet your eyes. May I sit?
Oh, of course. By all means.
Gives a nod and, like a leaf falling in the wind, slowly just sits down, super gracefully. This place is quite strange. The winds blow words here. You look troubled. Would you like to talk? I often find saying one's thoughts out loud helps, even if it's to a stranger.
Euan thinks for a moment, still kind of coming out of this deep train of thought that he was in. He hears them, but it's almost like a distant echo that's growing louder as he's being pulled out of his reverie. He'll look out over the Sandsea. Then back over at them. It has been a day. And everything I thought was a constant in my life, my duty, nay, my privilege even, has rightfully been called into question, and I don't know how to comprehend it.
Deep in thought indeed. There's a small smile. He raises a hand and starts maneuvering it in a very gently flowing way, as you feel a little bit of the wind kind of flowing around the two of you there. I find that the only constant is change. The wind batters us, shapes us, in ways that many of us don't like. And yet, it blows anyways.
And what happens when the wind pushes you to confront something bigger than you have ever been or ever will be?
You grow. Kind of stares up towards the large manta-like entity. It drifts around, slowly arcs and flows down towards the side of the ship there, not 10 feet away from where you both are sitting. If we try to resist the change, it always leads to more frustration, stagnation, at least in my experience.
The weight of those words is not lost on Euan. In fact, I think he would get kind of a goofy, dumbstruck expression on his face for half a second. Because there is more reality to what he has said than even Euan thinks that he knows. think I needed to hear that. Among other things that I have heard today.
Gives another smile. She could tell. Looking back towards the creature. Go with the change. Don't fight it. He stands up with that and looks down at you and reaches out a hand to help you up.
Yeah, he'll take it, and it'll take him a second, and I don't quite think Euan can stand fully upright at the moment.
As you do stand up, the wind kind of
nonetheless.
rushes around you and like propels you to stand up. A little bit of aid there from just the wind. I don't believe we've met. I'm Veril.
And my name is Euan.
Pleasure.
He'll shake Veril's hand, heartily.
I best get back to it.
Going to make a personal insight check.
Okay.
Just to gauge.
What are you trying to insight?
It's more for Euan himself. Oh, there it went. And we'll just take the first one, because it didn't roll at first. This was the player trying to figure out if Euan thinks that Veril either knows more than he's letting on, or something, or if he just thinks that Veril is way too on the nose coincidentally, and with that roll, he very much thinks it's way too on the nose coincidentally.
Yeah, I mean, he talks in a little bit of cryptic ways, and you can definitely see that there's some sort of strong connection between that manta-like creature and Veril here. You don't know what that creature is capable of. It does kind of that she knows or she knew. That kind of plays at your mind too, like if she could maybe read your thoughts, you don't know what's happening there, but it
turns out it was Alamor the whole time.
Little uneasy. But that he gives you a little like curtly bow, almost very gracefully once again, and almost like dances back towards his station. Just starts maneuvering the wind once more.
I think it would then catch up with Euan that he's now standing, and the more of the understanding of the conversation kind of washes over him. He's just like, what just happened? Before toddling off as well as he can towards the mess hall, because thinking on an empty stomach isn't always the most productive.
Yep. And it's around right at that time that you all hear a bell ring out as Rhukkarrak, this wakes you up from your little bit of slumber. You do get a long, or not a long rest, but a short rest there, so you can roll another hit die if you'd like and regain some more hit points. As you're all called to the mess here, as Truck kind of calls out once more that food is ready and lunch is due. As the motley hue rushes in, and some of you are already there, to fill your empty stomachs after this long morning of terrors and horrors. As the bell tolls, the crew and the motley hue are quickly brought towards the mess hall, seeking comfort in the dreary rains and the gloomy atmosphere of the Spirit Dunes here. The day has gone on now, and now it's a bit past midday, closer to nightfall. And you can see there is a little bit of tension on the crew here, not wanting to be in the Spirit Dunes during nightfall. But something you will have to live with, as you still have another day or so in this haunted place. And so to distract yourselves and them and everyone else, Truck has prepared a delicious, warm, hearty, brothy stew that is very different than the one you had on the prior evening, or the past couple days. It's a little more basic, but a warmth to it that is, well, just what you need. As Truck ladles out all the dishes, you all gathered together on a single table here. Rhukkarrak, you probably wipe some sleep from the eyes. Still a little drowsy from the deep slumbers that took you. But
well, I was going to say that I did not take the rolls of health because he was spending most of the time just attempting to relax.
Okay.
So it wasn't very restful.
Yeah. As you all gather back up, the clamor of pots and dishes and the rumors continue to articulate throughout the mess hall here. As you do see, there are, on the days prior, the crew here were interested in you as newcomers here. But there were less eyes that just stared in your direction. There's a little more of that today, as some people are very curious as to what you might have found down there, as they were waiting for quite some time. But you sit down and start to enjoy the delicious meal that Truck has prepared.
How's everyone feeling after all of this mess?
Little bit more mortal.
How are you feeling?
Sore. Hungry. Looking forward to sleep tonight.
Rhukkarrak's just kind of sitting there looking a little guilty as he kind of glances up over his bowl. I was like, well, Asja, you told me to not run away from problems, and I did.
When?
Then I am sorry that I was upset. I was feeling a bit attacked because I was not the one who brought up the topic that everyone was berating me for. Anyway, I should not have stormed off like that.
We're all tired, but it's just that we also can access these sheep and have the connections we have because of the things we know. So, just like, that's our currency, that's it. And yes, you and I both know that, well, what we found down there was something that we don't want there's anyone to find. I didn't mean anything by it, though. It's okay. I know I brought it up. Yes, just fearful of the consequences of the things we say now that we know these kind of things, you know?
But regardless, we do need to share our experiences. I doubt they were all the same, especially since I didn't see anyone else in there with me.
Well, Why do we need to share our experiences?
Did we not get information that might be useful for the rest of the party?
I think it depends on whatever the question was asked.
I didn't ask any question. Just want to make that clear.
But if you want to know, Aether, well, maybe not bad, maybe not good. What comes with Aether? Probably bad, but maybe good. I'm not sure. And the actual term for a mankind is a human.
Motley human. No.
And
Stop it.
you know the other things that we found that we don't talk a lot about, you know, that go up. Well, it seems they came down.
Ruka looks a little bit confused, but just nods his head.
You hear from
Well,
a crew member. What'd you guys find down there? Tell us something. We're so curious.
A lot of cobwebs, old books, skeletons. Lots of skeletons.
personification of death?
Told you it was death. Lunar himself was down there. I guarantee it.
But no, Lunar.
No, like just a monster of death. There were actually a few monsters of death. There was the shadows in the mirrors. There was the blob thing. It was kind of like a slime made of death energy. And then there was the monster wall that chased us out of death and I don't even know. You guys got a closer look at it than I did.
No, that's about right. Of death and death.
More death. Yes. That's what it looked up close. Death.
Asja's gonna get up. Okay. I don't think we're doing a very good job at this. Look at their faces. They're going
It's
pale.
all a little confused and like just staring at you.
I thought we were trying to
Let
scare
me-
them so they didn't try to go in there.
Oh, they're not going to go in there. They're already scared because they were already in there. They didn't have to actually go in there to be scared. They were already in. Asja's just gonna, in a rare thing, push her bowl aside, and she's gonna kind of move to the front. Right. While you all eat dinner, let me try and tell you a story from the past. So, many of you are elves,
I'm an elf.
and right, you are, and so am I. But
You're like, me too. I'm no elf.
in an age,
Look at it work.
it still will involve your people. Unfortunately, your people go before my people. So, unfortunately, my people are the only ones that really. And you'll understand in a minute. Stop distracting me.
Yeah,
Okay,
let her
look.
speak. Let her speak.
Hundreds of years ago, maybe even 1,000, there was a time. If you're all going to travel with us and you're going to take us to these places, then you should know a little bit more. You've all, I'm sure, heard whispers about this Aether.
Bunch of murmurs.
The
Yeah.
Aether-
What's that about?
The Aether used to be here, at least that's what we think, but it became a lost knowledge, a lost thing. I think for a very good reason, but don't know the reason yet. I promise, I'm looking into it. You've all seen
Did
me
you
with my books
eat
over
it?
there.
Shush. Let her speak.
I don't think you could eat it, but You know, we could always try if we ever find some. Maybe just a little lick? I don't know. But, off topic again, sorry. But with the Aether, when it was around, I guess it brought great wonders that have been lost to us now. But it also brought, in the end, a time of war and destruction. And eventually, death to everything that we would know in at least all of our Ithar. What the ruins were there, the reason why there was so much death energy, much like you would find with the ruins of Mithendril, or Cindertree, or even the Expanse. That was the ruin where the elves, who were the last ones, made their last stand against this pervading death energy that had crept over the land and taken over. That's why there were skeletons. That's why there are creatures of death down there. They're abominations, I guess, created by the large amount of tragedy that happened. So for those of you that are elves, those are our ancestors. While this is somewhere never to return, think a little bit in your heart that it is also very much a sacred place. Think of them. Maybe by thinking of them, even though we don't know their names, we can help them move on.
Let
But
Lunar
that's
guide
why-
them. There's a couple kind of shout that out.
Exactly. Let Lunar guide them. But now, the Aether, the knowledge of at least, has been unlocked again. We don't want another last bastion. This time, we will all stand together. No matter what the Aether brings, whether it be good, whether it be bad.
But
The
what
last
is
bastion
it?
will hold all of us. It is another form of energy, as far as I can tell. From what little we know about what it might power, I guess like an energy battery or something. It can power things. Things that can do things that we've probably never imagined in our life. Or at least that's what we're understanding from the tiny bits of information that weren't lost. So I ask all of you that when we go to these crazy places, please be brave. Because all of you, even though maybe it doesn't feel like it, are just as much heroes like us in trying to figure out what this is and keep us all protected. I promise that I am here to protect all of you, as are all of them.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Over. This is where the dice say no. See? No. 9.
9. You can still see there is a lot of confusion and a little bit of fear on many of the crew's eyes here, but people are nodding along with your little speech here. And one calls out, "Here's that," and holds up a mug and whatnot. There's a couple bark out a couple other questions like, "But how do we know what this Aether is?" All that stuff as Aragon at this point walks in. "Quiet, all of you. You're not supposed to bug them. We are not seeking answers ourselves. We are here to guide them to where they need to go. Won't hear any more of this." Kind of gives you a nod. I appreciate you sharing some, though. It always helps a little bit of morale if we know what we are finding. It is important.
I don't see a reason in hiding too I mean, you're all taking us to these places. You're all taking the same risks we are. I don't think it's fair that you don't know. As for the Aether, I don't know. That's the easiest answer. I don't know. That's what we're looking for. What is it? Aside from some energy source. I don't know. But you're going to help us find it. So let's eat this delicious food before it gets cold.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I'm on seconds. She goes back
As
to the
they
table.
all kind of yell out in agreement and continue to eat on their own. Other conversations start to break or continue throughout the room, but no longer asking you directly. Thank you. Real quick, just keep everyone informed. We are still very much in this spooky place, this dunes. We have another day or so of travel. We are pushing most of our limits to see if we can't get out of here as soon as possible. So far, we have not come across anything except those spooky reeds and, well, sands. Hopefully it stays that way. Be wary. The bell will ring if there are dangers ahead. Get a good meal, and let's get back to work so we can get out of here. On to the next adventures. With that, Argon goes and grabs a bowl and sits down with some other crew. And starts eating. Leaving you all to your own vices.
Asja scrapes the bowl and kind of looks at the three of you.
So, if you ever wanted to know what I did back at home, that's what I did back at home.
Eat a lot.
No,
Was
Try
quite
and
the
bring-
impressive speech.
calm. Well, I hope it helped, and I hope it reduces the questions, because then, you know. And now at least now, the elves that died there, people will remember them.
I guess what we
think
found is
that's-
that the past is not much different from the present either. People lived, people died. People fought.
It seems history is always doomed to repeat itself. Whether it
Not
be
if
from...
we have anything to say about it.
Oh, I agree.
What do you think
beat me
is
to the punchline?
Do you think that it was because of the humans? Or
I think it was out of desire for power.
That's what he told me, was that it was something to do with the Aether. And the humans,
because there are no
That's-
humans around, we're still fighting.
Oh, what is that? What is that saying? Absolute power corrupts absolutely? Something like that. I don't think it matters what race, where people come from, anything. I think when power is on the line, those that want it are going to fight for it. That's
Isn't
why
that what
this
it means?
happened. That's why the Ember Wars happened.
But that's what you have, Euan, for example. What you have is power. If you didn't have that power, I would be dead right now.
As would I.
And what does it mean to be a paragon? Doesn't it mean to wield power?
I think it means to wield power for the betterment of all, instead of to the betterment of self.
Power is still what you make of it. Back at home, before I left, much like the other cities you've been to with councils, there were councils, and I held one of the positions. Kind of. By birthright, the Einarog was always an addition to it. It's not... I could have gone crazy with power. Not that many people. Nobody was really going to leave. Really. It's how you use the power. Do you choose to use it wisely? And know that sometimes you have to use the power a bit more harshly than you want to? Because the circumstance needs it? But the rest of the time, you use your power to make sure that those around you are safe, loved, taken care of. It's all how you use the power. It is easy to get corrupted by it, but I think it's a matter of strength.
At that, Asja's gonna get up. My bowl is empty. I need seconds.
And she's just going to
Head to the kitchen again.
Very quickly, you get it
Ruka's
filled
just
up.
going to eat quietly, waiting for the rest of the crew to clear out.
Yeah. No other conversation as the rest of the crew eats relatively quickly. They are not going to take like an hour off for food here, as they're what mans the ship. And so after a few minutes, and you hear scattered conversations about what Asja spoke of, other concerned crew members talking about the spirit wastes and whatnot. Eventually they all slowly trickle out and back to their responsibilities, leaving just the four of you more or less with Trek, who is washing dishes over in the kitchen there, and Argon, who finishes up and walks back over to the table here. So, I'm glad you all are at least look better than you did when we pulled you up from the sands there just a few hours ago. Know it's been a long day, but we might want to decide where we are going next. If it is still towards this spear point, or if we want to break and just head towards Florignus as fast as possible. It's up to you.
After what we found there, I would like to go to the spear point. See if we can confirm what it is. Maybe if we can correlate it to the map that we found, that will give us another reference point for it. I just want to make sure. I don't know what the rest of you think.
I would tend to agree with that then.
Yes, I thought that was already the plan.
We had discussed, but I didn't think we decided for sure.
Ah,
And some people's minds may have changed after what we just went through, you know. But this place, at least, it shouldn't be as scary. I guess we're heading for the spear point.
Very well. We'll tell Veril to keep course towards the spear point. Last I checked with him, it will probably be another day or two. So, get some good rest in the meantime, and hopefully you do not find more, well, death down there. Readjusts his hat a little bit and gives you a nod.
Maybe we'll
Starts to
find puppies this time, who knows? So, Rhukkarrak, you show.
Yes.
You show. What do you show? You show it better than I did. You got close to it, and I'm curious to know, but do you think that is worth it, the knowledge? Do you think he was able to accomplish whatever he set out to do? Save his people, cleanse their energy, make things right?
Who? The
Hollow Flame.
Well, he says he is hungry, always hungry for life. So it does not seem like a very happy existence. He claimed that he keeps that monstrous death at bay. So I don't know if he considers that. But I don't know if your guys' answers were more useful, but when I asked him for information about controlling or clearing death energy, he literally just told me exactly what we already knew about the trees. Although he did call the trees, what was the phrase? Tears of a goddess?
That is the point,
that was
Rhukkarrak. It doesn't matter what he says, but matters is what he is. You're seeking the same answers as you are. I know that I don't want to know the answer anymore. Of that I'm sure. Not if that's what it leads to. I don't care.
We cannot leave the death to fester.
And do you think then the answer is to, I don't know, foster more of it? It doesn't seem like that thing was just there because.
The answer is to cleanse it.
We need to find more tears.
Apparently the trees are able to produce some kind of energy that can let death energy return to life. And I don't know how many trees are left.
Wait. Sorry, go ahead. I'm listening. And she's going to pull out her notebook and then shut it. And then she's going to pull out. She's going to pull out 2 books. Both just happen to be with the Landris crystals. Keep talking. I have an idea. Flip. And she's just going to start skimming the books. Sorry.
How many tears or trees are left? I refer to them as tears of Alamor to myself as well. But there aren't any new ones. According to him, Alamor is asleep and unable to cry her tears. It was Alamor's tears, the trees, that staved off the death energy from the age of despair. And that is the hope that we have for today, for this age. And there
Didn't you say
new ones
that you could feel more to the north?
I can.
Maybe we could transplant some.
I don't know if it's transplantation. I feel like all of this is bigger than a much larger scope than what we can comprehend. There are civilizations that have popped up around these tiers for goodness knows how long now. The Sunspire Dominion is built around them. Mithrandel was built around them. Cinder Tree was built around the Kuran Tree. The world is bigger than just the places that the trees were. I don't think it matters where they are. I think it matters that they're awake.
So we
I'm
need
not
to wake
sure.
up some trees?
What were you saying, little one?
I don't know if the trees are the tears. Or what's under the trees are the tears. I think maybe when we get to Floringus, we should see if there are any root tenders there that we could talk to.
I think
What
we
are
will-
these trees known for? They're known for the Elandris crystals, right?
Well, at least for as far as the Landris elves.
With the Jimborn
don't-
elves, yes. Kuran
But-
never produced them.
That you know of. If you didn't know to look for them, maybe you didn't know that the roots held. I don't know. It's just a theory. Anyways, back to my book.
You have 2 books in front of you there, Asja.
Yes, I
The
do.
Resonances of Stone and Flame and the Heartroot Covenant. Which one are you looking at more closely currently?
Let's go with the Heartroot Covenant first.
Okay. As Azure reads this a little bit, what are the rest of you doing? We'll get to that in just a moment here.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't sound like tending for a tree or waiting for a tree to grow is the thing that is going to change how the ether is going to be controlled or used. Malric just took advantage of the power of the trees and he unleashed whatever it was upon us. I don't see, well, maybe using that power we can reverse it or I don't know, but
But that's what bothers me then. His statement about Alamor being asleep and unable to cry her tears. I can't help but feel like the answer that we seek revolves around that sentence.
yes. That's also bothering me now that you've said it. Because I never felt that Alamor was absent in my life. If anything, I feel Alamor has made me more powerful than ever. And that's because I'm just basking in her light.
Is
Now,
that because
I'm
of your
facing
faith
her.
in Alamor? Or is it because Alamor is awake, alive, unbound?
I don't know. Maybe it's because of. I don't know. I have faith in the conflict. And that's my point. I don't know how the trees are going to help us win a war. If the elves were fighting the humans, it's not like they chose to, or it doesn't seem like to me. If the humans come from somewhere else, they were invading. Or, I don't know. I don't know how their story goes. But what I know is that there was war. That's what I'm certain of. And I know I'm a broken record when it comes to this, but conflict is what comes. Conflict is what looms in the horizon. Malric was just seeding the seeds of it. And we can't see the enemy right now, but it's coming. That's what I feel.
If the enemy is coming because it's the Aether, then we can almost count on it being more of these human that we found in there. I don't think it's a stretch to think that that is what is on the other side of this. We need more information. We need to try to find documentation somewhere, something that mentions Alamor's slumber. I I think that's where we need to start.
That's
there
why
are
we need to go to the
legends-
Twilight Ridge.
There is one other thing that you all should probably know. It was not in the question, but it was in the conversation that I had with a friend in the dark. He said that I already had some kind of contract with someone.
Euan cocks an eyebrow.
It was apparently evident in my soul, spirit, whatever went to whatever place we went to.
What was it that the Sphinx called you?
Shadow hatchling or something?
Do you think it has something to do with that? Didn't they say you were stolen or something?
But stolen from... Oh, that's... Anyway, I thought you all should just know because I don't know what his contract is.
I worry about
And-
you, Rhukkarrak. Because you're chasing the shadow of who knows what. And that was what I feel happened to the Hollow Flame. And you are... In your mind, you feel like you are going to help by harnessing this power of death. But when it comes to it, what we've seen is that death only brings about more death.
You are lecturing me about using death?
I'm not lecturing you. I'm just saying I worry about you. Because
I thought there was an
I think the larger concern is that there is no recollection of making this kind of deal.
yes, you don't even know who you really are, Rhukkarrak. And you're becoming powerful. Don't you see what the problem is?
I also feel that the best way for Rhukkarrak to figure out who he is and where he belongs in this world is with us. All of us are uncovering
sure?
things about ourselves. I am.
I could... Whatever this contract could complicate whatever it is we are doing.
And if something comes up from it, if there are complications from it, then we will do as we have done when complications have arisen for any of us.
But you also need to make sure that you are gonna choose something by yourself. If we are going to do something about this contract, it's because you have chosen to do something about it. We cannot choose for you. And I just worry that you want to become like that. Is that what you want?
Euan will kind of lace his fingers together, put his elbows on the table, and rest his chin over his fingers, kind of watching this play out. But with, I think, a bit of a knowing expression in his eyes.
Are you saying that you think I'm going to become... That's...
I just
the
see
word
that that's the
necromancer?
fact that you're walking. No, I don't know.
I don't intend to embrace the death. I intend to destroy it.
But you cannot destroy it. It's part of... Lunar is part of
what makes Jorika what it is. The Maldorwen are there because death needs to be, yes,
I don't
turned
intend.
into energy for life.
I don't intend to upset the natural cycle. I understand that with life comes death. But there are some areas that are so out of balance that death consumes too much.
That is correct.
And that is what I want to do, is
as much was said to me
purge this
by the
imbalance.
Hollow Flame as well, that this age and era of despair and death is not as it was a while ago. But there are places that, if left to fester, will make it become so.
We know that there was an age when the entire world was filled with death, and it was brought back to balance. Much of the death energy was purged. So there is a way, and that is what I want. I don't want to become death, to become hungry forever.
It's all part of the cycle in the end. Life becomes death, and through the trees becomes life again. It brings us back always to this venture, journey, mission, I don't even know what to call it anymore, that all of us seem to have been set upon. And I trust that each and every one of us, when faced with the decision of what we need to do, are going to make the correct decision. Doesn't come from a place of naivety, comes from a place of experience and of trust. And I trust all three of you. And I have to, because if Asja is right, if I have been wrong, that I am the one that is supposed to be protecting you, and that all of you are supposed to be protecting me, I have to trust that I am in good hands.
Rhukkarrak will just kind of glance at Asja like, really? That's what you think? As
Asja
he
kind of looks up from her book and... Huh?
Sorry.
He didn't actually say anything, but then, like, after glancing at Asja that way, he'll glance back at Euan's, like, massive frame and just kind of, I guess in his mind, just kind of shrug, like, okay.
Think of it this way, Rhukkarrak. If we are to awaken these trees, if we are to find these trees and awaken them so they can purify this energy and stave off another calamity like what has happened nearly 1,000 years ago, I am one of them that is awake. What happens if the world loses me?
Yes. Indeed, something very dark. And that's why Cordran thought you were so important, isn't it?
When we were in the Hall of Mirrors, I saw myself in the mirror. It's not just the spirit of the Quran tree that is within me. I am the Quran tree. I saw it around me as a part of me. My body, my soul intertwined with its fate.
Well, you're also a warrior. And you know that there is something else at play. It wasn't ether that brought the war to an end. It was something else. And that's why there's now death energy here in the south as well.
Well, as long as
The humans brought the death energy. They spread it across the land, as far as I am to understand. The war
Yes, isn't that
ended
what Greg
when they
said?
killed all of us. And then I guess maybe went home.
Or they all died in the process.
Well, that too.
Or the elves fought them off.
Either way, that is what caused the imbalance. It's what caused the Age of Despair. It's what caused all of this to happen to begin with.
But death is already becoming toxic again. And there's no humans. It's just the war. The Ember War. And the Ember War, yes, it turned to cinders. But all that I feel is that someone is trying to fan it again. What if that's the key for the humans to conquer us this time? To divide us? I don't know. The Kasdurim being down south in Elendor certainly didn't help. You know, there's people still alive that have scars from the war. Like me, like you.
Euan also looks down at his very literal scar from the war.
Yes, you are 3. But what about you?
I've already died then. And when the tree is done with my body, I will die again.
Brother,
And the tree
I've fought
can come
alongside
back
you
anew.
so many times, you're alive. And you're especially alive when you're fighting.
And I will do everything that I can to make sure that we all see this through to the end. But I have to get to the end of this. If I fall, so does the rest of the world. And I believe that the Quran will do its best to not let that happen, as is evident down in the pits of hells that we were in earlier. But how many times can it save me before I've used its power up? It's only a small piece that's within me.
Well, as long as we both agree that I'm the one that does the stupid sacrificing myself for everybody, and you stay alive, then that's okay.
As long as you don't go near any more crabs anytime soon, Rhukkarrak. He'll shoot you
Yes.
a little bit of a coy smile.
Pincers are my weakness.
Don't
Sorry
worry,
about that.
wyvern tails are mine. That still hurts to this day to think about.
Right about this time, Truck walks in with the crab and wyvern stew. I'm leaving
I'm
this
gonna want some of this.
But, Rhukkarrak, you are young. All of us have seen many, many more suns, moons, seasons, planets, whatever you want to say. It kind of comes with being the youngling in the party that we worry about you.
Yes,
But
I
I do
hope you
trust
understand that I don't mean anything bad by what I said. It's just that sometimes you don't talk about what's going on with you. And
I trust
I don't
you, and
know.
I hope that you know that, Rhukkarrak.
Well, I will try to be more open. I will try to get answers tonight about this contract, though as I've been seeking this, what did you call it, Asja? Patron?
That's, yeah, patron.
All I have found so far is what seems to be horrors of my youth. At least I think that's what it is. I will let you know. I will keep you all informed.
And I would hope you know that the other two, or I would hope that the other two of you know that that trust extends to you as well. I've said it before. The three of you are the closest that I have had to family in a lifetime.
Rhukkarrak will just smile and duck his head a little bit. Just slightly embarrassed.
The quiet kind of crosses the table here as you all are thinking about what has been said in the conversation here. You all feel the exhaustion waning on you. The day has not been short. And the bed sounds really nice right now. Look out the window and see the Alamore light, diffused as it is nearly faded at this point.
Speaking of which, I should probably do my nightly meditations before going to bed. If you need me, if you need help with the map or anything, just let me know. I'm off.
Jaruka stands and leaves. And the three of you remain.
Asja seems to have really just kind of curled up onto the... Seems to have moved a bit of the bench so that it's kind of maybe a little bit wedged against the wall and is curled up and has a little shawl over her legs as she's nose in, all you can see is the top of her head and probably Rupert sitting on her head and nose in a book.
I'm just going to finish reading this chapter and then maybe I'll go to sleep. But maybe
Euan.
I'll also ask Truck if he has any more of those lovely cakes first.
And then she gets up off the bench and just kind of goes over and quietly asks if there are any snacks available.
I think Dean. Oh, sorry.
I say, dinner didn't quite fill ya.
I'm always hungry.
That's true.
What can I do you for?
He's currently washing a dish.
Do you have any more of those delicious cake balls?
I don't have more of those right now, but I can bake them. It only take 30 minutes. Or
Could help.
I
Or
could,
something new?
I
More
could-
new?
Well, I do have other snacks than just cake balls.
Or I could help you with the dishes, and then you could teach me how to make the cake balls as well. And then, if I want cake balls when I leave you, I can still have cake balls and think about you all the time when I make the cake balls for myself.
You're too kind. They are good though, aren't they? I eat too many of them myself.
He slaps his stomach.
If you want to help, I won't say no. I mean,
He stares over at the pile of dishes that he's currently cleaning.
by all means,
Okay.
I know you have I see you out there with all your books and studies.
No, I was told today. She closes the book and puts it under. I was told today not to live in the past, live in the present. And the present tells me I need to help you with the dishes, and then help you make some delicious cake pops. Let me just put my book away.
Okay.
She'll walk back over the table.
First, I'm going to help in the kitchen and make more cake pops. Then I'm going to read the book. Then I'll go to bed.
She puts her books away with like the bag and just kind of piles them in the corner and heads pat 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 pat, pat to the kitchen, leaving Euan and Din to themselves.
Is there any conversation the two of you would like, or do you head off to bed?
I feel Dean would like find a spot to sit near you and maybe like against him, and take out his instrument, his lyre, and start like tuning it. I'll turn and say,
Thanks for coming back for me, brother. I didn't want to die today. I made sure of that.
I didn't want to see you die today either. He will, as you're tuning up your lyre, pull out his pipe and go through his normal ritual of packing some tobacco into his pipe and getting it to a point where he lights it and puffs on it a few times so that way it stays lit. And for a couple of moments of just listening to you tune the lyre. Look down at you. You really are like a brother to me. More than just a brother in arms.
Is that Yuan or the tree speaking?
That's Euan speaking. I'm glad to have you by my side.
You always will. You've made sure of that.
You will take another drag on his pipe, and I'm sure it will fade into some small conversation and whatnot. As the light dims, eventually the light of the tobacco in his pipe kind of gently illuminating his face, kind of belaying some of that red Drakthir that used to be in the dim light before the lanterns and candles on the tables get lit.
As Din and Euan spend some time, just a little bit of small talk here and there, and just more or less enjoying the safety of the travel before they wind down fully for bed. Go over to the kitchen as Asja and Truck start to wash some dishes.
Oh, you like eating a lot, I've seen, which I always love someone who knows how to eat. It's a good thing. You cook too, then?
My grandmother was more the cook. I learned a little bit from her before she died. But, yeah, I haven't given anybody food poisoning in at least 3 decades, so it's gotten better.
That's always good.
So, why are you a cook on the ship?
It's a good question. What brings us to where we are? Well, I was a cook in Maldorwen for quite some time before Juan found me and insisted. I think it was one time I cooked for both Juan and our god there, and they just had to have me, apparently. Offered me a position here. It was good. I think this city was getting stale. But,
Your food is very delicious.
thank you. I try.
Continues to wash. A bit of his smile fades a little bit, lost in some memory, perhaps.
Did that make you think of something?
Oh, sorry. Yes, just past and where we all come from. I don't know.
Where do you come from?
Well, I believe we talked about this. The Vlaskloam, the Orcish tribes up north. Yes.
Sorry, it's been a busy day.
Oh,
What has
good. It's been decades since I called those my home. I think about them here and there, though. I do miss them, but I had to leave.
Because someone told you to? Or because you felt like it?
More the latter.
I'm sorry.
She kind of pats him on the arm.
There's no need to apologize. I found good people, good places. Traveling on this vessel has been a life more grand than I think I ever would have had back there.
But you've probably been on some wonderful adventures with Juan's yearning for different knowledges and stuff. You've probably seen lots of places.
I have. Definitely a lot here in the Sunspire mainly. We don't go north too often, but kind of excited to go back up that way. Is that, at least that's what I've heard, we were heading in that direction, potentially after Floridians.
We are.
That's good.
We need to go up there because, well, it's not like the Sunspire Dominion has a lot of information on what I'm trying to find, so I am hoping that if we can go to the Twilight Ridge, they will have something there.
I sure.
I'd assume they have libraries or things that would be similar to what Mythendril had. So if anybody's going to have histories and stuff like that, I'm hoping it's them.
I'm sure they do. I haven't been myself, but we heard stories. We're just south of the ridge itself. And the Thalgren that live there, they're an odd folk, but very smart. Definitely know a lot.
We met one named Cordrin, and he was the one that invited me and the others to come
Oh, sure.
up there to look for things. But maybe, seeing as maybe we could swing by your home if you ever wanted to go back there. On the way back down. Saying if you do have the urge to do a drive-by.
I appreciate that. Love to see. Well, what about you? You're now the scholar. Have you always wanted to be someone who studies all these things, finds secrets?
Yes. Thankfully, I get to have best of both worlds. But, yeah, when I was younger, I always wanted to be what my people called a wayfinder. And they were the ones that got to leave Mythendril for the archives. And they were the ones that would do exactly what we're doing now and go out and find lost things and find information and document it in drawings and all that and then bring it home. And it was always very, very
celebrated when a wayfinder came home with new information about things.
They ever find
that-
secret recipes I should know about?
If they did, unfortunately, those are lost to time. There were a handful of us that got out, but it's not like we had time to grab anything. Wish we did. A map would have been really good. Just some maps and just some information books. But no, I always wanted to be a wayfinder because it was the only way I was going to leave home. See, my family was kind of one of those families where, you know, you inherit things and titles and jobs and... I was really hoping that if Mithendril hadn't fallen, maybe I would have a little sister and she could take on the responsibility of the family line, and at that point I could escape and actually see the world more than just what people brought home in books.
For
It's
sure.
a very small life.
She just starts trying the dishes, kind of looking like, oh my god, I've just realized I've seen nothing in almost 100 years. Oh god.
I think it's good that you are out doing what you like to do. Too often, people are held back by responsibilities that aren't their own.
Well, thankfully in this case, the responsibility that's not my own, but is kind of mine, also comes with the benefit that I get to go and travel to all of these, albeit dangerous, but really cool places. I mean, the last place, yeah, sure, it was filled with death energy, and there were things, and the mirrors, and there were blobs of death, and all the rest of that, but just think of the history that we just found. I mean, that was the last stand of the elves before the Age of Despair. That was the last bastion. Think of the history right there. Doesn't that just excite you even just a tiny bit? Like, yes, there's bad things that are there, but the history, the even just seeing how their armor was different from our armor, or their weapons were different from our weapons, or all sorts of things. Just knowing that I stood in the same place that my ancestors stood while they tried to... I don't know, it's like an electric tingle that goes through my body. Sure, it was dangerous, and in the end we nearly all died, but just to be able to see it and touch it and smell it, I don't know, it gives me a rush of energy, like very excited. I could just burst. I don't know. I hope you understand.
I do. I do not have the same fascination, and have not been one to study histories, but I can see and hear the passion within your voice, and how enthused you are. It's contagious. Keep that passion with you.
Always. But I also have another passion. And she pats her tummy. That's eating. And she finishes drying up the last dish.
That was the last dish. Time to make some more dishes.
So, while you all were trying not to die by blobs and death itself, or whatever you were saying, that's crazy, I may have went out and got some of these.
And he pulls out from a little wrapped cloth some of the reeds that were whispering.
have not cooked with them yet, as I haven't seen them before. But
He holds one of them up and looks like some sort of a cane of sorts.
they might have properties that could lead to a delicious tea, or some more stew, or, I don't know, something else.
Kind of smells it a little bit and hands you one.
What do you think?
She's gonna take a smell of it, I guess. How does it smell?
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Oh no. 15.
15. As you kind of hold the reed that is still a little moist from the moisture that hasn't been fully dried off, but you kind of hold it, and it looks like there is an outer layer of this thicker fibrous material, and then the inner section of it is almost weeping a little bit as if it's got some sort of juice within. I mean, you kind of smell it a little bit, and it smells... It doesn't have a strong scent to it. It smells vaguely sweet.
Okay. Well, Asja's gonna look at Truck and kind of turn her back so that the two party members out the thing can't see what she's about to do, but Truck can. She'll just kind of... All he'll see is the very tip of her tongue kind of come out as she's raising up the little sock. I think it's okay. And she's going to, I guess, lick the juice.
Okay, it tastes more or less like very, very lightly sweetened water. It doesn't have a ton of strong flavor to it, but there is something there. It's distinct, not something you've not familiar.
It's sweet. Not too sweet. There's definitely something else there.
It's just, I
And
guess,
you
gonna...
did not fall over dead, so...
He
No,
does the
and
same.
my tongue. Blah, blah, blah. My tongue's still working.
He tastes it a little
I'm
bit.
holding up 2 fingers.
She takes your pulse.
What we could do, you wanted some cake balls, yeah? We could use some of this as like an extract of sorts and use it as this new natural sweetener for them. There is that aftertaste that has complexity to it.
Make a bad joke, but is that what the hint of death tastes like?
I don't know.
Oh well. Should we take the skin out and then maybe roll it through a rolling pin or something like that and really try and get the juice in?
She's just gonna start sciencing how to get the juice out of this cane with him.
Yep. As Asja and Truck spend the next 30 or so minutes sciencing
Monster
and
Energy.
cooking. Monster Energy.
Making death cake balls. There we go.
Cake balls. Removing the juices from these canes, these reeds of sorts, and incorporating that as Truck guides you, Asja, to make the simple, kind of grainy cake balls that you have grown to already love over the past few days.
Oh yeah.
And as they fully get done cooking, he hands you one and comes out to the table here. If it's been about 30 minutes, would Din and Euan still be there, or what were you two doing?
Euan is still there. Euan's got too much on his mind to go to sleep as of yet, so
I feel like Din's probably just like playing, like strumming chords, and like kind of like making background music and thinking.
Okay. So as Truck and Asja come out wanting to share their invention of death cake balls with you.
Alright, they should be safe to consume. We think so, at least.
should be.
I still have no tingling in my tongue. I think it's
I
good.
don't either, and I haven't felt any. My stomach is, well, it has a good knack for these things.
Compared to your people's constitution, my people's constitution is... I would have been flat out by now if something was going to happen.
We used some of the reeds that were making those eerie noises. And some of
They're
these.
tasty.
You could probably tell which ones Truck has done because they probably look like really nicely done, like somebody who's done this so many times before. And then there's the more natural looking boulder kind of pebble things next to it that you can tell she tried. She really tried, but it's maybe not her forte is being in the kitchen.
Yeah, one of them has a smiley face on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Dean will eat that one.
Yeah. Euan will take one of each.
Cheers.
This truck
So?
pops one
Cheers.
in his mouth as well. And as you bite into it, it is still that very warm, fluffy, grainy, cakey substance. But it's not as sweet as some of the other ones that he's made in the past. But there is something about it that just... the flavor lingers in the background there. And it's like a dull, sweet, not overpowering flavor. Just kind of resides even after you finish eating it for a while.
Fascinating.
Truck. This is really good. You know what? Maybe tomorrow before we leave, if we find a bigger patch of this we should collect some, because I bet you if we somehow collected the juices, we could probably get some good money for the exoticness of it.
I bet.
But we don't tell anybody. It's our secret. Our secret. Only we know where this grows.
You'd have to
Can't
convince Captain to stop. He wants out of this place as much as almost everyone else does.
Okay, well then maybe we can find a way to dangle me over the edge by my ankles with a knife in my hand.
No.
He gets a very worried expression.
I don't like the sound of that.
Doing that.
Okay.
I still have a few we could maybe make something else with.
Enjoy your cake balls.
And Asja's gonna grab some and go back to her corner and
Thanks for the talk again, Truck. It was good.
Thank you for your help.
Truck will pop one more cake ball and return to the kitchen. I'm in a little something kind of matching Din's cadence of music.
Can we keep him? Can we just have him travel along with us the rest of the time that we travel?
No, I found out that Juan specifically, very much, yeah, Juan specifically found him and wanted him to be the cook on board the ship.
I mean, I understand why, but
And Argon also, that's... He also very much wants him on the ship. Apparently before he came, the food was not that good. Morale was low. I could understand.
I suppose we can leave him with the ship.
Well, we're
Euan
going to
says
be
in a
traveling with him
half-joking,
for a while.
disappointed way.
We're going to be traveling with him for a while at least. And he is looking forward to going up north, so... He hasn't been up north for a while. So he's looking forward to it, so... We have him for a while at least.
But if you guys want to learn to have his cooking, I think somebody else should probably learn how to. I'm great at doing dishes, but maybe not so good with the making of the food. Eating food. Now that I'm good at.
I mean, I'm not that great at cooking either. It's not quite my forte.
As you all kind of are having this conversation, that mellow sweetness still lingers on the back of your tongue. I need the three of you to make wisdom saving throws for me.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Literally death cake balls. Can we call it little death stars?
Nope.
12?
14.
Well,
Asja.
Samuel rolled really well.
Asja and Din, that sweetness starts to fade and dissolves. No longer on the back of your tongue. Euan, that sweetness grows a little bit to the point where it distracts you from your current conversation as you kind of are brought to this sweetness. And all of a sudden your vision starts to blur a little bit in just a brief moment. And you can just, a flash of a memory courses through your thought process for just a moment. A battle, a terrible, brutal battle. Days, years of fighting, exhaustion, worriness, death. And as you kind of come back to your senses, the sweetness fades.
Was it a memory I recognize, or was it
Not of your own.
No, that was Carl of mankind. You just ate Carl and had his memories.
Ewan's eye twitches? I don't think I want any more of those tonight.
Why? Aren't they good? I like them. And she pops another one around.
They tasted great. The barren battlefield that I just witnessed was not great. I need a nap.
Much just retiredness.
No, definitely. I'm gonna go to bed now.
Okay. Good night, Dad.
Hey, good night. Be careful with those.
No problem.
As Euan worriedly heads off to sleep. Asja, I assume you go back to reading your book and snacking on the on the cake balls.
And this one we'll call Sam. And this one will be Peter.
And,
Sorry.
we'll quickly. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So we'll quickly head to Rhukkarrak as right before you head to bed. You enter the room. We're going back in time a little bit, and to meditate. As your thoughts this entire day, all the new information, the encounter with the Hollow Flame, the very near-death experience that you didn't quite experience, but just the whole process of that ruin and exploring that really takes its toll on not only your physical exhaustion, but your mental as well. But you sit down and go through the motions of your meditation, anything you're trying to focus on.
Well, so I think that all of that weighs quite heavily on Ruka's mind and makes it really, really difficult for him to calm his mind for the meditation. And just before he's about ready to give up and go to bed, he just kind of shouts out in his mind, "Who are you? What contract do we have?" And that's gonna be it. And if there's nothing, then he'll go to bed. Otherwise,
Okay. You shout out or think out hard as you can, and nothing. Just the subtle
what he
patter
figured.
of rain on the window.
fine. I don't need you anyway. And yep, he'll crawl into bed and just attempt to sleep. I mean, I think he'll eventually accomplish it, but his mind will be racing. I think he'll actually be asleep by the time Euan gets in.
Yep. All right. Euan enters, similarly perturbed by thoughts racing through your head. You try to find sleep in what you can. Especially this most recent thought kind of has you very disturbed. But you lay down eventually too. I need each of you to roll a d20 for me.
I don't like that.
It's the curse that we got.
Oh. Natural 20.
That means the curse breaks, right?
Yep. That's what happens. We pan over to the hall. It's like, damn it. No. One night, no. No. All right. So the two of you eventually do find sleep. Your physical body's waning and giving to the exhaustion that has told you through the day. As Asja stays up a little longer reading and practicing. Anything of note for Euan? You're practicing there?
No, I feel like Dane's just like gonna, stay there for a little longer.
Okay.
Because like he can't use his magic, like he's out of juice, but he really wishes like she was there and like she was walking around the mess hall when he made an illusion of her. So he's like thinking about that, and like I think he'll probably like just fall asleep at the mess hall.
Okay.
Like, against the wall and like clutching his lyre.
Yeah. Euan, do not heal yourself yet.
Oh, all right.
Fully rested yet. You are resting though. So as the tones of the plucking of string kind of resonate through the mess hall here, Asja reading the Heartroot Covenant. And you begin with opening the book to the very first page, where you see a small introduction entry that might give you a hint more of what this book contains. And if you would like to read that.
It?
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you want me to read that out. In the elder days, before the spires of Mithrandel kissed the stars, before the wars scorched the deserts, the Gemborn elves were wanderers, scattered, seeking a place where life and spirit could endure. It was not ambition nor conquest that led to our flourishing, but a discovery, a covenant sealed beneath ancient roots with stones that would bind our souls across time. This is the tale of the finding and the legacy that followed. Mevira Nalith?
Yep.
Nalith.
As you flip the pages, go ahead and just roll a Constitution check for me to see how far into the book you get before exhaustion takes you, more or less.
10.
I will send you a few more here.
Okay.
But we'll have you read for us.
Okay.
2 more entries.
All
Like
right.
kind of, you read more than this as Asja, but this just kind of sums it up more or less.
Entry 1. The Pilgrimage and the Verdant Dream. Driven by visions of fertile lands unseen, a conclave of elven wanderers journeyed into untouched heart of Arathar. They followed not maps, but dreams. Dreams whispered by the spirits of the world itself. After months lost in misty valleys and ancient woods, they found it. The Heartroot Tree, a colossal being whose roots cradled life itself. The air was thick with magic at its base, and there, woven within the living earth, the first Elandris gemstones were found. Soft, green, glowing, as if cradling the heartbeat of the land. Entry number 2. The Covenant of Stone and Spirit. It was not mere happenstance that the stones chose us. The first ritual of bonding was born when an elven child, newly born beneath the Heartroot shade, was gifted a gemstone by a Heartwarden elder. As the gem touched the child's skin, it pulsed once, not by magic of mortal making, but by the life itself, entwining forevermore. Thus began the covenant, that no gemborn would live without their Elandris, and no Elandris would shine without a soul to nourish it.
As you get deep into the book, the topic is fascinating to you about your history, about your ancestry of gemborn elves. But the exhaustion of the day does wear heavy, and a couple pages later, your eyes grow heavier and heavier as you're flipping. And it gets to the point where you're not retaining as much as you would hope. You decide to put it down and maybe pick it up when you have more rest.
She will close up the books and put them in her bag and see that Din has fallen asleep, and so she kind of shuffle over and put her shawl down over top of Din like a blanket. Sleep well. And then she'll toddle as if the boat was on water and rocking back and forth, and she's just tired, so she's kind of walking like she's drunk back and forth to the room where she will just she'll put her bag down and she'll take her scimitar off and kind of look at it, run a finger over the Elandris quickly, and put it down and go to sleep.
Okay. As sleep claims you all one by one, the gentle swaying, the glimmerwake, the patter of rain, the faintest whispers still lingering in the winds of this cursed, haunted place. More of its nature now potentially known to you, albeit through superstitions or theories. You feel like you have at least an understanding of what might occur here and left this place to be as it is. But the Glimmerite continues to make very good pace throughout the night. It continues further and further, getting closer and closer to your next destination, the Spear Point. This other supposed rune that might have all kinds of more knowledge to it. And being able to link what you found here to potentially what you will find there might just be able to unlock one more piece of the grander puzzle that is the question, what is Aether? And how is it going to impact the future? As you all sleep, the night continues until you are torn from sleep by the sudden clang of the bell. Twice. Of a Zork sighting, instincts jolt your bodies awake. Armors hastily strapped, weapons pulled close as you rush towards the deck, bracing for a third toll. But when you burst into the open air, the sound dies. No orders, no chaos, only a profound stillness. The crew stand frozen, their gaze affixed on the horizon, faces pale with awe and dread. Slowly you follow their gaze, and your breath catches. Out in the dunes, beneath storm-choked skies and falling sheets of rain, something impossibly massive moves. A dragon. Not flesh and scale, but a spectral colossus of shimmering outline, its form stretching nearly 100 feet above the sands. The Glimmerwake itself feels small, almost fragile, beneath the weight of its presence. Its gargantuan head tilts, fixing upon you. Twin eyes of cold, pale blue bore down with a gaze that pierces through armor, flesh, even soul, as if it seeing not just who you are, but what you are and what you might ever be. Something ancient, knowing, indifferent. The silence only breaks with whispers from the crew, fragments of prayers, gasps of fear. Yet the ship does not slow as the dunes slip by, and the spirit's gaze follows, its massive neck craning ever so slightly to keep you within its sight. Then, with dreadful slowness, its eyes narrow as its head starts to rear back. Argon quickly shouts, "Brace!" That cuts through the paralysis here like a blade as you see some movement start to happen. But a strike does not come. As the creature turns away, its attention severed. As its gaze lifts skyward, the storm begins to unravel its form as the rain dissolves into mist, breaking apart like ash upon the wind. And just like that, it's gone. Once again, the deck falls silent. No one breathes, no one speaks. Only the memory of that impossible gaze remains. And that is where we're going to pick up next week.